You're not tired. You're just letting days pass and calling it normal. And I need you to hear this clearly, because it's the most brutal truth you can face without flinching. Doing nothing is a decision. It is a decision to stay the same. It is a decision to keep wasting time in tiny, invisible amounts until you wake up one day and realize you traded your life for comfort you didn't even enjoy. You don't feel the cost of doing nothing in one big payment. You feel it in small withdrawals. A morning you don't remember, a week that disappears, a month that ends with the same regrets, the same excuses, the same stale promise that next month will be different. And you say it like you believe it. But your actions tell the truth. And right now, you're negotiating with your future like it's an optional upgrade. Like discipline is a personality trait you might download later. Like confidence is something you'll earn after you feel ready. But readiness doesn't come first. Movement does. You're not stuck because you don't know what to do. You're stuck because you keep choosing the same thing. You keep choosing the easiest option in the moment, and then acting surprised when your life gets harder over time. That's the trade. That's the deal you've been making quietly. You're trading pain now for pain later, and pain later collects interest. Let me put it in a way you can't ignore. Every time you procrastinate, you're not just delaying progress. You are training your brain that your word means nothing. You are teaching yourself that you can't be trusted. And that's why you feel that dull heaviness in your chest. Because somewhere inside you, there's a part of you that knows you're capable of more. And it's watching you waste it. That part of you isn't asking for perfection. It's asking for proof. Proof that you actually mean what you say. Proof that you're not just a guy with potential. Because potential is not a flex. Potential is a debt. And if you don't pay it, it turns into regret. Look at your days. Look at what you do when nobody is watching. That is your real life, not the plans. Your real life is your repeated decisions. And if you keep repeating the same decisions, you don't get a different life. You get a louder version of the same disappointment. And here's the part that hits people the hardest. You don't lose your life all at once. You lose it in the scroll. You lose it in the delay. This is something most people ignore. But one day they'll wake up and realize they've wasted years of their life. And then they'll do what people always do when they can't face the truth. They'll blame something or someone else. They'll blame their job. They'll blame the system. But deep down, they'll know the real reason hurts more. They did it to themselves. Not with one catastrophic mistake, but with thousands of small choices to do nothing. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a line. A line you stop crossing. Because right now, your life has no edge to it, no standard. And without that line, your impulses run your life. So ask yourself the important question. How much longer are you going to let your life be decided by the weakest version of you? Because there are two versions of you in every moment. One wants comfort, and one wants change. One wants the warm bed. One wants the hard path, and you already know which one you've been feeding. Look at your outcomes. They don't lie. If you're not proud of your outcomes, then you already know what has to change. Your decisions. Because your life is not made in a single heroic moment. It's made when you're tired, and you still do it. And the reason you haven't been doing it is because you've been practicing the opposite. You've been practicing delay. You've been practicing comfort. And practice turns into identity. Say it out loud in your head if you need to. What you repeat becomes who you are. That's why doing nothing is so dangerous, because it feels harmless. It feels like a pause, like you're just taking a break. But breaks don't last months. At some point, it stops being rest, and it becomes escape. And escape is a slow destruction of your best self. Now listen, you don't need to overhaul your entire life in one night, but you do need to stop pretending your small choices don't matter, because the cost of doing nothing is not paid in money. It's paid in self-respect. It's paid in confidence. Because when you don't keep promises to yourself, you start expecting yourself to fail. And then failure becomes normal. You start building your life around it. You choose safer goals. You lower the standard. And you call it being realistic. But in reality, that's just fear. So here's the shift. The moment where this stops being a speech and becomes a decision. From now on, you're going to stop asking yourself what you feel like doing and start asking yourself what you need to do. That's what discipline really is. Discipline is a quiet refusal to betray yourself. And you can start small. Choose one thing you've been avoiding, one thing that would make you proud if you did it today. And do it without negotiating. No waiting until you get in the mood. No bargaining. Just do it. Because every time you do what you said you would do, something changes inside you. You stop being a person who hopes, and you become a person who acts. And once you become that person, life suddenly starts feeling easier. The cost of doing nothing is real. And you've paid enough. So pick your next decision like it matters, because it does. And if you want a different life, you don't need a different year. You need a different choice right now. And then again tomorrow. And then again the day after that. Until doing the right thing stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like who you are. Make the decision. Then prove it.